Happening now, thousands of students at North Carolina A&T State University are spending a second day out of their residence hall and in the cold weather. That's because heating systems are damaged there, and the university says repairs can't be made before the weekend. Our Star Connor joins us live from the campus this afternoon. And Star, what have you learned this morning? Top of mind is the weather. Cold weather has Winston-Salem dealing with water main breaks all over the place. And this is video of one on Stratford Road near Forest Drive. That's one of several breaks within the last 24 hours we've been dealing with. The city says repairs can take a while as crews cannot dig until they know where all the other lines in the city are, like telephone and gas lines. And talking about the weather this afternoon, we're going to take a live look outside from our cam at High Point University, where it is another cold afternoon. We have meteorologist Dylan Hudler joining us now. So Dylan, how's the rest of the day looking? Are we going to warm up at all?
Oh, we are going to warm up. It's a heat wave out there. We've made it into the low 40s. How about that?
Wow. After the last few days, that seems nice.
I know, it is nice. Comfortable. You might even want to throw on some shorts and a t-shirt, right? Oh, whoa, calm down.
A cold weekend ahead for sure, Dylan. Thank you. President Biden is visiting North Carolina today. He's expected to announce millions of dollars coming to the state to connect thousands of homes and businesses to high-speed internet. Our Maria DeBone joins us live from Raleigh this afternoon. And Maria, how much new funding are we talking here? All right, Maria, thank you. And ahead of the president's visit, North Carolina Republicans are hammering his record on the economy. Senate Leader Phil Berger of Rockingham County issued a statement that reads, quote, "From shutting down energy independence to making trips to the grocery store unaffordable, the incoherence coming from the Oval Office has resulted in higher costs for families and businesses." You'd think with all the time the Biden administration has spent in North Carolina, it would learn a thing or two about real economic success. That's sadly not the case, end quote. New here at noon, a man has been sentenced in a burglary and sexual assault on the campus of High Point University. The Guilford County Clerk of Superior Court says Philippe Saeed was sentenced January 8th to between 15 and 23 years for attempted first-degree rape. A judge dropped a charge of assault on a female. Prosecutors say these crimes took place back in December of 2021, and the suspect had several outstanding warrants when he was taken into custody. Also new at noon, state troopers are investigating a deadly crash in Wilkes County. We're told this is happening on Conley-Shoemaker Road near Champion Mount Pleasant Road. Highway Patrol tells us 2 cars are involved and investigators are still on the scene right now. The 4 suspects charged in connection to a fraud investigation at the Forsyth County Detention Center appeared in court today. A district court judge read the counts against former detention officers Alfred Scott Jr. and Laura Davis, as well as food service contract worker Danetta Jones and inmate Christopher McCrae. They are accused of stealing the identities of more than a dozen inmates at the jail. Sheriff Bobby Kimbrough says this is the result of a 4-month-long investigation. It started after a security system alert pinged a fraud scheme at the detention center last year. So far, we are told the identities of 18 inmates have been compromised.
To betray not just me, but to betray and put the men and women that serve and protect with them every day is frustrating to me. It's aggravating. Very aggravating.
And we did reach out to Airmark regarding the food service employee that was arrested, and the company told us, quote, "We are aware of this situation and the person involved is no longer with our organization." A new DOJ report is shedding light on the Uvalde school massacre that says it could have been stopped sooner. That 2022 attack at Robb Elementary School in Uvalde, Texas, left 19 students and 2 teachers dead. According to the Justice Department, responding officers demonstrated no urgency in setting up a command post and failed to treat what was happening as an active shooter situation. The father of one of the youngest victims, a 9-year-old, says his loss is still as fresh for him as the day it happened.
You don't ever get over a loss like this, I mean.
Never, especially this type of loss. It's unbearable. Mm-hmm. People tend to say, get over it, go on. How can you? That's your child.
The DOJ is calling it, quote, cascading failures in law enforcement's handling of one of the deadliest mass shootings in America. They point to an array of problems from failed communication to inadequate training. In Washington right now, parts of the federal government are set to shut down when tomorrow ends. The difference this time is that negotiations aren't just focused on the U.S. budget spending. Tomorrow is the last day of funding for segments of the federal government. That is unless lawmakers can prevent a partial government shutdown. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says his chamber should be able to pass a stopgap measure today, which could create a new funding deadline of March 1st and 8th.
You cannot do things with one party in a divided Congress.
In spite of what people are saying on both sides, this is a better agreement than we had.
The trouble is creating a plan both Senate Democrats and House Republicans can support by tomorrow night. Congress met with President Joe Biden yesterday discussing matters like funding for Ukraine. Happening now, the city of High Point is holding a public services hiring event that's going on until 3 o'clock at the public library on North Main Street. We're told there are openings for motor and sanitation equipment operators, water sewer technicians, and other positions as well. Qualified applicants could receive a next day offer. A teacher in the Piedmont Triad is in the running to become North Carolina Teacher of the Year. Will Mars is a drafting teacher at Davie County High School. He began his career in education 6 years ago via a residency license, bringing real-world experience to the classroom. He is one of 9 finalists from across North Carolina for the Teacher of the Year award. The Department of Public Instruction will present the award on April 5th at a banquet in Cary. School bus chaos in a North Carolina school district, the issue causing dozens of drivers to miss work, and how officials are addressing their concerns. Plus, 2 members of Britain's royal family dealing with health issues right now, why the comments from the palace are almost unheard of. Police in Thomasville are looking for a driver who hit a bicyclist then sped away from the scene. We're told this happened back on December 21st at the intersection of Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and Davidson Street. Police say the bicyclist was trying to turn left when a vehicle failed to yield and hit the cyclist. We're told that cyclist was treated and released from the hospital. Officers say they're looking for a gold vehicle with front end damage that is frequently spotted driving in that area. Parents in Durham are being asked to pick up their students from school for a second straight day due to a bus driver walkout. Nearly 50 school bus drivers did not show up for work Wednesday as they protest their salary issues in the district. Officials say employees were overpaid for months last year. Some say they're now being knocked down the salary step schedule and not getting credit for years of service in other places. The superintendent for Durham Public Schools apologized to employees and promised that he and other district leaders are working to solve this problem.
I think our employees are hurt. Some of them calling sick today. We understand, and we are really working with them. We understand that we have a duty here to make sure that our babies get to school and get educated.
District leaders are meeting with staff members one-on-one to discuss pay. Today, families of the Americans taken hostage by Hamas will meet with U.S. national security leaders. White House advisor Jake Sullivan plans to speak with those families. The family members have been in Washington, D.C. this week to mark 100 days since their loved ones were taken during the October Hamas attack on Israel. The U.S. believes 6 Americans still remain captive in Gaza. In Britain, King Charles and the Princess of Wales are both dealing with medical issues right now. As Molly Hunter reports from London, recovery from procedures they underwent will force them to delay previously planned public engagements over the coming weeks. Well, here in the Piedmont Triad, we actually are feeling pretty good out there, Dylan, compared to the last few days. I know it's been just so cold, but today's kind of a little bit of a break.
It is. Don't make me think about it. Oh, yes. Yesterday was terrible.
It was.
Yesterday was terrible.
A community completely covered in ice. At least we don't look like this right now. The accident that caused this frozen mess. But first, we're just 2 days away from the annual Miles for Hope run in Winston-Salem, how you can get involved to support a local nonprofit. And as we head to break, here's a look at today's numbers from Wall Street.